Hey guys, Coach Dan here. We have our second and last lower body session of the week, starting with some big stiff-legged deadlifts, or as I call them, stiffies. I would be lying if I were to say that my energy levels feel extremely high today for this training session, but that's okay. I am relying on the fact that I know when I get out there and I get focused and I get in there and I give myself a little bit of fire, I will come good, because it's been really fun this week's worth of training, but it's also been a big week across the board as far as life goes. So it's just a matter of getting out there, staying in your routines, getting started. So again, when I get before each set, actually my energy levels aren't that low, I'm just banging on a bit, but they're not as high as they've been all week. It's kind of catching up with me. This is a Friday session, so we are coming towards the end, and it's a hard session, so maybe my brain's going, don't do it, you pussy, like back out. But anyway, yeah, not as high potential energy level wise, but we'll get out there. We'll focus on execution. We will get our intensity up. We'll get that little bit of fire, and we'll focus in on the session when we get there. So it will all be good once we get started, once we get the juice in the system and the lubrication in the joints, something like that. But yeah, stiffies. It's a tough one. It's a tough workout. Maybe my brain's just trying to get me not to do it. Stiffies, rear foot elevated split squats, leg press, all big movements. It's a bit of a disjointed day today. I might have to break it up between clients, do my big movements first, and then after a few clients, come back and do a couple other movements. We'll see how we go time-wise. But without further ado, I'll see you at the stiff-legged deadlifts. Let's get it on. As always, stiff-legged deadlift to begin with on the second lower body of the week. So the second lower body of the week starts with a hip hinging or posterior chain heavy compound movement, whereas on lower body workout one of the week we start with the Smith machine squat. So we kind of give each one its love or its time to shine at the beginning. Now with the stiff-legged deadlift, we want to make sure that we are setting the hips high and getting a big hamstring stretch. I'm trying to lean it in as hamstring and dominant exercise as possible. People could use the deadlift in general for training what they want. For me, it's hamstrings. So feet, everyone's a little bit different, but I have always gone about hip width apart. So, pretty average, I would say. We'll then grip the bar directly outside the shin. So you don't want to take the bar in front of your legs, especially. But if you go too wide as well, it would just make your range of motion longer than it has to be. And maybe there's a point to that in some respects, like a snatch grip or a really wide grip. So when we are ready to begin, I'll take a deep breath, brace, set my back tight, my hips are high, so you can see that my hips are quite high. I already feel hamstring tension, and then we stand. Reverse on the way down. Now, for me as well, controlling the descent is something worthwhile. So controlling the descent, so keeping the tension on, not just dropping the bar. If you wanted to lift for maximum amount of weight, you'd probably just drop the bar, so you're not tiring yourself out. But my goal is muscle growth, so hips high, feeling the tension in here. Hamstrings will work, glutes will work as well. Back needs to stay tight. Stand, control the way down, feel that stretch, and then revisit. If you're someone with poor mobility, you might need like these on a block, or to do them from the rack or an RDL. If you're someone with extremely good mobility, you could even put yourself on a plate so you go through a larger range. It's a bit hot in here. It's like freezing outside. It's a bit hot in here. Okay, we build it up. This has been going well. We've got a big weight today for me. See if I can't get some progress on last week with good execution. Vamonos. Come on, you fucking pussy. All right, next up, rear foot elevated split squat. So we come off of the stiff-legged deadlift. Not too bad, got equal reps to last week. I was going for 10, but only got 9. So we got to go again at that weight next week. Now we set up for our rear foot elevated split squat, AKA Bulgarian split squat. So I use this setup just to save a bit of energy. I'll place dumbbells on a bench in front. We've got this roller thing. This could be another bench here, that will be fine as well. I'll plunk my foot out in front. I've got my straps to help with grip as my weights are getting pretty hard to hold onto. Back foot goes up, dumbbell off, and then we rock like that. So, as far as the rear foot elevated split squats, I'm trying to make this as much about my glutes as possible. So with that in mind, we want to lean forward into it, get my knee almost to my chest, and that will kind of finish the rep. That means my hip is pretty much fully flexed, and therefore my glute close to as fully stretched out as possible, but my knee only gets to about 90-ish degrees. So this way, we can make it more about the glutes, less about the quads. All right, we got 2 sets here. Time to build the booty. All right, split squats done. Happy with those? Got called a little bitch, did a little better than last time, so that's a good thing. So we're now going to the leg press. So if we look at how this WOE program has worked so far, we've gone stiff-legged deadlift, we make pretty hamstringy, glutes come along with that. The split squats, we make very glutey, quads do a little work with that. Now we're gonna make this as quaddy as possible, but the glutes will work as well. So to make a leg press really quaddy, usually your feet are gonna be pretty low on the platform because we're trying to get a lot of knee flexion. If you wanted to make it more glutey, there'll be nothing wrong with that, but your feet would usually go higher and you would get more hip flexion without as much knee flexion. So for me, I go shoulder width apart, lowish on the platform, toes slightly out, control the way down, drive up. So feet low. I've also got these yoga blocks here to push my hips this way a little bit more, which again gives me that extra range, gives me extra knee flexion and extra stretch in the quad. All right, a couple of sets here, one heavy one, and then we'll back off the weight a little bit for the last 2.
All right, legs are well and truly, or should I say quads are well and truly jacked up after that leg press. That was good. So the first set, the heavy set, I got 1 rep better than last week. I added weight to the other 2 sets that I did from last week. And the reps went a little bit down there. So now next week I'm going to use that same weight and see if I can't budge up the reps a couple here and there. So sometimes that's all that's required, right? We're just trying to provide a little bit more stimulus over time. So we call that progressive overload. So you're trying to add more that you have to adapt to over time. But not also that is that making sure you are progressing over time is making sure you're progressing, right? So not only if we don't progressively overload, are you not offering the body more stimulus, the muscles more stimulus, should we say specifically, you also don't know if the stimulus you are providing is getting you any better because you're not trying. So an example would be if I just tried to do the same weight at the same reps here over time, well, first of all, I'm definitely not getting better because I'm not progressively overloading, but also don't know if I'm getting any better because I'm not trying to add any. So overloading or adding a rep here, a couple of kgs here, not only tells us, we're not only making sure that we're doing more stimulus over time, but it shows us that we're getting better or not. Now, if you try as hard as you can and you can't get better, then we also know programming-wise or something there we need to do differently. It could be that you know, if you've been progressing for months and months and months and months and months and you plateau off, maybe we're under recovering now with the weights that you're lifting. Maybe we need more volume to continue to make progress. But yeah, trying to get better is quite important. Anyway, with all that spiel out of the way, we head to the hamstring curl. Not too much to report as far as this. We've got 2 adjustments for this particular hamstring curl. This here for length of legs. So I know I'm a number 2 on this setting. So I set it to number 2. When I lie down, that's going to be on the back of my ankle. And this here is for range of motion. So for all people pretty much without injury, it's going as large a range of motion as we can. We stand in here like such. We got handles at the front here. So we hold those handles tight to give us stability, brace ourselves, heels come to butt using the hamstrings, control the down, stretch out the hamstrings, and repeat. Not too much to it. I think it may be if we're looking at a common fault, some people will try and like throw themselves into this, so create momentum with the upper body. It's not what we're after here. We're after hamstring stimulus, so keeping the body still and just using the hamstrings. All right, let's begin. Only 2 sets here. We're smashing it. Let's go. All right, that's a wrap on the workout, guys. So I wasn't able to get to the calf raises and abs, but I can put a card up here showing what I do. So I do a leg press calf raise and a GHD sit-up. That's actually a really good abdominal exercise. So I do not have the time. I'm going to go pick up my daughter from the creche before she forgets who I am. So no, good workout all in all. Performance, not bad across the board. You know, I got the same reps on the stiff-legged deadlifts as last week. So we see if we can't bump that up. That seems to be the trend, actually. Well, the last couple of weeks anyway, where I'll get an extra rep one week and then match that the next week and then, go up another one again and then match that again. So hopefully next week, the week to kind of get 10 at that, 185, and then I can head to the 190 kg bar. That'd be sweet as. Split squats went well. Leg press went pretty well. So all in all, pretty good. And yeah, just missed out on the calf raises and that abdominal or the GHD sit-up, which I might have time to do this afternoon, but for now I've got to go pick up the little girl and then get on with some of the rest of the day. But yeah, we got one workout to go. Just keep crushing, guys. Anytime, again, even being really busy, this can be a really good time to kind of get away,
came into this workout feeling a little bit like, like I'm a bit knackered from the week. I don't know if I've just been like gritting my teeth and going and just pushing really hard. But I felt pretty good. And then, got to today and I was like, I'm feeling that a little bit. So, but then you get to the exercise itself and you kind of just switch off from that and focus. So how am I going to execute this? Let's put the intensity in and let's just let the rest do the rest, focus, right? So don't kind of be doing your stiff legged deadlifts thinking, I've got so much to do, I feel stressed. Like use it as a break from the stress, focus in and get as much out of each rep as you can. And that's been really helping for me. Like normally, if I'm a bit, tired from work week or whatever, this is probably the hardest workout. I think I express that every week. It's just because I've got programmed to do stiff legged deadlifts today. And it's Friday and, it's the whole work week and everything's piled on top. And then I get to this. So there may be some potential for structure change. I'd have to sit down and see how that looks. But I'm not sure if it would be doable. But, like if I have to switch this order and then I might have to start the day with legs or finish the week with legs. Oh, no. How disgusting does that sound? So anyway, enough jibber jabber from me. As always, guys, if you like the content, hit the little subscribe up here. It doesn't cost you a thing. Much appreciated. Very helpful for the channel. If you want to watch some of the other videos, some of the other workouts that I've got for other muscle groups, click the playlist up here. They're all in that playlist. And as always, it's about progress over perfection. Coach Dan, signing off.